Before we get into trivia, it's time to throw it over to Mikey P with your Rangers Ed 150, the fastest 150 seconds in the National Hockey Podcast League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rangers Ed 150 playoff edition. Round one is well underway, and what a show it's been so far. In the East, we got four series on the go. First off, Bruins-Panthers series is sitting at 3-1 in favor of Boston. They split games 1 and 2 in Boston, and then Bruins thrashed Florida in both games in Sunrise this past week to get the 3-1 series lead. The Bruins have been without Patrice Bergeron through games 1 through 4. He left the final game of the regular season against Montreal on April 13th with an undisclosed upper body injury and has yet to return. Bruins are hoping to get him back for Game 5 tonight, while on the other side of the coin, Aaron Ekblad has been out for the Panthers since Game 3 but will return for Game 5, along with Anthony Duclair, who has been scratched since Game 2. Pretty curious decision by Paul Maurice to start Sergei Bobrovsky in Game 4 after Lyon had played pretty well through the first 3 games, but after that performance by Bob, it's very unlikely that we will be seeing him in Game 5 tonight. Second series in the East is the Canes and the Islanders, and this has been pretty tough on the Canes. The team split games 1 and 2 in Carolina. Carolina took 2 and 3 in New York, and the Islanders won Game 5 in Carolina to put that series at 3-2 in favor of Carolina, heading back to New York on Friday. The Canes have lost Teuvo Teravainen and Jack Drury to injury. Some pretty tough hits doled out by the Islanders. And Sebastian Aho definitely lost a few teeth last night in a pretty unfortunate play where the puck bounced off his face right onto an Islanders stick and into the back of the net. All in all, it's been a pretty tough showing for the Islanders. They haven't generated much offense through this series. Canes' depth is really being tested with all these injuries. Should be an interesting Game 6 on Saturday night, and that Islander barn is going to be on wheels. Third series in the East, Leafs-Bolts. Tampa jumped out to a 1-0 series lead after they thrashed the Leafs in Game 1, but since it has been all Toronto. Toronto's put up 16 goals through the subsequent 3 games. Samsonov has been all right. He's done just enough to get the wins, but if they run into a team that is a bit more offensively gifted than Tampa is at the moment and has a bit of a better defensive structure than Tampa, the Leafs are likely going to be in for some trouble. Game 5 is in Toronto on Thursday night, so if you want to see an absolutely electric barn, tune in. Final series in the East, Rangers, Devils. I'll let the boys tackle this one in depth, but puck management and neutral zone play seem to be the keys here for the Rangers. Games 1 and 2, the Rangers controlled the puck well, clogged up the neutral zone to the point where the Devils could not get any manner of fast break offense going. In games 3 and 4, Rangers got lazy and the Devils uncorked. They're flying through the neutral zone, putting the puck in the back of the net. Rangers definitely have a better team here. We should see them show up for Game 5 with all the vets they got on that roster and all that playoff experience. There's no shot they do this 3 games in a row. Game 5 is Thursday night in New Jersey, which will also be on wheels on the heels of back-to-back wins by the Devils, so make sure you tune in for that. Out west, we have Vegas and Winnipeg sitting at 3-1 in favor of Vegas. The Jets stomped Vegas 5-1 in Game 1, but just like the Leafs, Vegas stormed right back and took the next 3, earning a 3-1 series lead. Jack Eichel was very quiet in Game 1, but has since put up 3 goals and 1 assist in the subsequent 3 games. The Jets, on the other end, have been hammered by injuries. They've lost Scheifele in Game 4. Ehlers and Morrissey as well are both out. Scheifele is supposed to be playing Game 5, but definitely no Ehlers and definitely no Morrissey, so it's going to be a tough road for the Jets if they want to claw their way back into this one. Game 5 is Thursday night in Vegas, and I'm saying Vegas takes this one. Next, we have Colorado and Seattle, which has turned out to be one of the best series in the first round. Each team split their home games to leave the series tied at 2-2. Seattle Kraken are giving the defending Cup champs fits. Seattle is team full of second-line players, just like Vegas was in their inaugural season when they went to the Stanley Cup Finals. Game 5 is tonight in Colorado, and the Avalanche will be missing Cale Makar after he received a 1-game suspension for his late hit on Jared McCann in Game 4. Third series out west is Dallas, Minnesota, and this has been a seriously physical affair. Dallas lost Joe Pavelski in Game 1 to a hard hit delivered by Matt Dumba, and also lost that game. Since the series has gone Dallas, Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota, Dallas, and Dallas, leaving it at 3-2 in favor of Dallas. The Wild looked really good. Kirill Kaprizov has basically been absent through this entire series. He's only put up one measly goal through the first 5 games. So if the Wild want to get back in this one, they need to get Kaprizov going. They also need to stick with Gustafsson. Pretty bad coaching blunder starting Fleury in game 2. Definitely didn't work. Stick with Gustafsson. Finally, we got Edmonton, LA sitting at 3-2 in favor of the Oilers. It's been a great series, just like last season. Kings are struggling to keep up a bit with the pace of the Oilers. The Kings definitely play a bit of a more structured game, while the Oilers tend to lean a bit more on their run and gun offense. Big three in McDavid, Draisaitl, and Kane were reunited for Game 5. And the Oilers 6-3 win over the Kings. And Game 6 is Saturday night in LA, and that's going to be a very hostile barn if you're wearing blue and orange. Ladies and gents, we've had some fantastic playoff hockey so far, and Thursday night is a real big one for the boys in blue. Next week, we'll be talking about second-round matchups, so tune in for those series-clinching games, as they're surely to be very intense affairs. Till next week, this has been your 150.